There are people in your life right now who will never change, no matter how much advice, love, or support you throw at them. You could hand them a step-by-step manual on how to escape misery, and they'd still trip over the first page. And the worst part? They'll drag you down with them while they pretend they're the victim. We all know that guy, or worse, the friend who asks for your help every 2 days, then does the exact opposite of what you told them. And when their life collapses, they come back crying like it's your fault. Not everyone can be saved. Some people are just walking disasters who love being stuck. Today I'm exposing the 5 types of people you just can't help, no matter what you do. Get ready, because you're about to recognize half your friends, and maybe yourself. 1. The professional victim. These are the people who've turned self-pity into a full-time job. No matter what happens, they're the ones crying, "Why me? Why is the universe out to get me?" Bro, the universe isn't out to get you. It doesn't even know you exist. But this type thrives on misery because it gets them attention. You could hand them a ladder out of the hole, and they'll whine about how the ladder's too heavy. Here's the truth. You can't fix people who are addicted to their own suffering. The more you try, the more they'll drag you down to their pity party. And I bet you don't want a VIP ticket to that depressing circus. 2. The advice rejector. These clowns are the ones who beg you for advice, then completely ignore it. They'll text you at 2 a.m. "Bro, what should I do about this toxic relationship?" You pour out wisdom, you even quote life-changing strategies, and what do? Go right back to the same garbage the next day. Then they come back, shocked. "It happened again." Well, sorry to tell you, but it happened because you didn't listen. These people don't want advice. They want validation for their stupidity. And you can't help someone who's allergic to solutions. You're not their savior. You're their unpaid therapist. And therapists at least get paid to be ignored. 3. The energy vampire. Ah, yes, the people who drain the life force out of you like human leeches. They'll show up with the most negative energy, complain for hours, and somehow leave you feeling like you need therapy. Talk to them for 5 minutes, and suddenly your soul feels like it ran a marathon. Here's the blunt truth. You're not a charging station for broken humans. You can try to motivate them, inspire them, or hype them up, but they'll always find a way to suck the joy out of everything. Don't waste your light on someone who insists on living in the dark. 4. The excuse factory. If excuses were money, these people would be billionaires. They always have a reason why they can't. Can't work out. I don't have time. Can't study. The stars aren't aligned. Can't change their life. It's just not the right season. Here's the thing. You can't help someone who values excuses more than progress. You could hand them the blueprint to success, and they'd still sit on the couch explaining why it's impossible. And if you stay too long around this type, guess what? You start believing their nonsense. Protect your mindset, or you'll end up joining their pity choir. 5. The manipulator. This one's dangerous. These aren't clueless people. They're smart. They'll pretend they need your help, your advice, your support. But in reality, they're just using you. Manipulators thrive on draining your time, your energy, your empathy, because it feeds their control. They'll guilt trip you. "If you really cared, you'd help me." Meanwhile, they never change, never grow, never improve. You can't help them because they don't want help. They want power over you. And the second you stop giving, they'll move on to their next victim. If you spot this type, don't walk, run. Let me give you a bonus because this one deserves its own spotlight. The know-it-all. These people act like walking encyclopedias of nonsense. You give them real advice, straight from the heart, and they'll instantly fire back with, "Yeah, but I already knew that." Really? Then why is your life still a complete mess? The know-it-alls don't want guidance, they want an audience. They're addicted to being right, even if it keeps them stuck in the same problems forever. And the best way to handle them? Stop arguing. Step aside and let life humble them. Because trust me, life has no problem teaching lessons to people who refuse to listen. So, there you have it. 5 types of people you just can't help. Or, let's say 6 because I was feeling generous. The professional victim, the advice rejector, the energy vampire, the excuse factory, the manipulator, and lastly, the know-it-all. So, next time remember, you're not Superman. You're not responsible for fixing everyone's mess. Some people don't want solutions. They want sympathy, control, or company in their misery. And the more you try to save them, the more you'll drown with them. So, what's the move? Draw the line. Protect your peace. Focus on people who actually want to grow, because those are the ones worth investing in. Remember, you can't pour water into a cup with holes. Save your energy for people who actually want to drink. And if you recognized yourself in any of these types, good. That means it's time to wake up and stop being unhelpable. You can't help everyone, but you can help yourself by refusing to be their emotional trash can. So, the solution is simple: set boundaries. Don't waste years trying to drag people out of holes they dug themselves. If someone's always playing victim, rejecting your advice, draining your energy, living on excuses, or manipulating you, step back. You can actually love someone and still refuse to be their crutch. Love doesn't mean endless rescuing. It means sometimes letting them face the consequences of their own choices. Because at the end of the day, the greatest teacher isn't you, it's experience. And best believe that life will teach them lessons far harsher and far more effective than anything you ever could. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought of being foolish and stupid." The problem is, most of these people would rather look smart, play victim, or make excuses than actually change. And that's why you can't help them. Only life, through the harsh lessons of experience, can break their pride and force growth. Oh, and for the people who always ask for books recommendation for the topic discussed, I would suggest you read Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Ego is the Enemy is a sharp, no-nonsense guide that shows how our biggest roadblock is the ego. Ryan Holiday breaks down how ego creeps in at every stage. When we're starting out, thinking we already know everything. When we succeed in letting arrogance blind us. And when we fail by letting pride stop us from learning. The book uses stories from history, philosophy, and real-world examples to prove that ego is what makes people unteachable, stuck, and toxic to themselves and others. The writer Ryan Holiday is a best-selling author, modern Stoic, and former marketing director at American Apparel. He's built a reputation for taking ancient philosophy, especially Stoicism, and turning it into practical advice for today's chaotic world. The second book on my list is Toxic People, Dealing with Dysfunctional Relationships by Dr. Lillian Glass. This book is basically a survival guide for identifying and protecting yourself from toxic personalities. Dr. Glass outlines 30 types of toxic people, from manipulators, critics, and control freaks to energy vampires, and gives you strategies to deal with them without losing your sanity. The comment of the day goes to this user, and it reads, "My reality said, this is the best comment. Reality bends to confidence. Well, you claimed it, and it became true."